to own it. Just wanted to take the time, learn all the things that I could about you. Now it's such a mess here. Oh, we are just stressed here. Used to be so easy with you.
Thank you for coming on the show today.
Absolutely. I don't really know what we're going to do, but I love anything sparkly. So you lead me and I know it's perform
weird
for you.
Isn't it weird, like you being on that side because you're always the one interviewing?
Yeah, a little bit. And I have done. I've been on specials that we've done at work before. We used to broadcast the Senior Girl Athlete Awards, and so I would do it with the sports people, and then sometimes I kind of take over. So you tell me what to do, and I'll perform.
Well, I think viewers really want to know about you and your background and where you graduated and how you got into journalism.
Okay, so I am from here. I'm from Clovis. I know that people like to make that distinction, but if I'm outside of Fresno, I'll say I'm from Fresno.
That's what we do.
So I was actually born in Ventura, and then for whatever reason, my mom wanted to work for Clovis Unified. So I moved to Clovis when I was little. I think I was in 3rd or 4th grade, and went to Clovis Unified, went to Gettysburg, went to Rayburn, graduated from Clovis East, and then I did go to Fresno State for a couple years, but then I transferred, and I graduated from Arizona State with a degree in journalism. And I studied sports journalism when I was there. And right out of school, I started working. Well, I moved to LA with my sister, so I was a waitress. And then I started working for Fox Sports West as a production assistant. And I just sort of fell into post-production land.
Was that when you were in LA?
When I was in LA,
okay.
Yeah. I was working for Fox Sports West. And I was a production assistant, and everybody called me Ashley, and everybody thought I was an intern. And I was like, no, I work here. My name's Emily. And then, so me and my sister are super codependent. So she moved to LA, that's why I went there. And then she got a promotion and she moved to San Francisco. So I followed her to San Francisco, and I started working as a media production specialist for this broadcast services company in San Francisco. And we would work on television spots. So and huge spots. We would work on stuff that you see during the Super Bowl or whatever.
Love it.
And then I got laid off. And then a guy at Stanford saw my LinkedIn profile, and he was looking for a video editor. And I was like, okay, well, I have nothing else to do. I guess I'll carpool into Stanford and work for them. And then I don't know, I liked it there. And so I was there for 5 years, and I eventually became a creative media producer for the Vice Provost of Teaching and Learning at Stanford. And they...
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, it's cool to think about, because they, Stanford's got an $18 billion endowment. They have tons of money, tons of resources. And so our studios and stuff and the cameras that we were working on are they film major motion pictures on the RE Alexa camera that we had and worked with. But it was, I was so bored sometimes I wanted to cry, because professors would come to us and be like, I want to put my class online. And so we would work with curriculum designers and, media production specialists and all these people who had all these great ideas to think about pedagogy in a way that would translate their class to online. But all they wanted to do was just stand in front of a camera and give their, engineering lecture. And it was so boring sometimes. So anyways.
Wow. Yeah, I could see that.
So Stanford did tuition reimbursement, and my boss at the time was like, oh yeah, you should just use the tuition reimbursement and go get your master's. And he knew somebody at San Francisco State, and so I got my master's in broadcasting at San Francisco State. And when I was doing that, I was like, I kind of think I want to go back into television and actually do the things that I like to do, tell stories and report and talk to people. And so I got my master's, and then I started looking at jobs and ended up in Bakersfield, California. And then I was like, well, I'm certainly not going to stay here forever. And I just kind of felt like I would eventually come home. And when my contract was up in Bakersfield, I saw that they had the lifestyle position open, and I applied for it. And I'm sure the news director who hired me was like, oh, she's from Clovis, she can breathe, and she knows how to use a camera, let's hire her. So, yeah.
That's really cool. What an experience.
Yeah.
And you just stayed a little bit of time each there, and then boom, next thing.
But I was Okay, so Bakersfield is market 123, and Fresno's market like 50, LA, market number 2, New York, market number 1. So Bakersfield's pretty small, and I was 30 by, when I made a career switch. So I was the oldest reporter in the newsroom, and
that's funny.
We were like all the reporters were sitting in, but people don't think I'm as old as I am, which I guess is a good thing. We're all like sitting in the edit bays, and I was talking to this girl, Raina. She's up in San Francisco now, but I was like, yeah, I'm a little bit older than you guys. And she was like, when did you graduate? And I was like, 2011. And she was like, I graduated we're the same age. And then Jeff Platt, this other guy, was like, she's talking about college, Raina, not high school. So I was like 4 or 5 years older than her. So yeah, I was like a little bit older than everybody when I started. So I don't know.
And you probably had a little more experience because of being in Stanford doing that.
Yeah.
You had definitely more camera.
Definitely more. Well, and I think you can sort of work out the camera stuff. Like people will always be around, your anchors will always be around to help you. But I think what a lot of people who watch the news, and I think maybe they are getting savvy to it now, is that a lot of young reporters are right out of college and they're making no money. Like, 40 grand or less in some places. And they don't have a lot of life experience. So like they usually don't have kids. They usually haven't bought a house yet. They usually haven't maybe some of them haven't even paid their first set of taxes yet. And so sometimes that can really inform the types of stories that they're telling and how they're telling them. So I definitely brought a different,
view.
background to the newsroom.
That is an awesome.
Yeah.
I love that you've had all the experience. So then you did the lifestyle show.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about how it ended up in your
doing the news.
Doing the news. So tell us a little bit about that, the viewers.
Okay, so in Bakersfield, I was the investigative reporter, and I felt like I would really like to do that, and I guess I didn't realize that okay, it's going to be market 123. You're not going to have a team. You're not going to have time. And so I was really trying to investigate stuff, but I was also doing what we call day turns. So going out and shooting a story every single day by myself. And I just wasn't getting to tell the stories that I wanted. And also, at the time, I hadn't really cut my teeth yet on being uncomfortable and pushing people a little bit. So I was like, I hate investigative reporting. I want to do lifestyle. And so that's why I took the lifestyle position, total 180 from investigative. And then I started doing the lifestyle show and I love it. It was super fun. And I loved being that break in the day or that hour before news where, you don't have to push people down in the show if it's a fluff story. But lifestyle is also code for sponsored content. It's a great outlet for businesses and for people who want to pay for airtime to maybe explain their business or to have a little bit longer time to reach their audience. And, in that sense, you don't get to decide what you cover. And I had done it for 4 years. And I know people say this, they're like, my biggest problem is that I do too much. But I am the type of person that, if you tell, I'll just figure out how to do it. If I'm going to run into a million obstacles of trying to get a photographer, trying to get an editor, I'll just do it myself. So by the end of my time on the lifestyle show, I was shooting, editing, calling. When my producer was sick, I would produce the show and host the show and edit the show that day. And it was just a lot. And so I told my GM at the time, I was like, I can't do this anymore. I am going to be 36 years old and I am just tired of MMJing. I just don't want to do it anymore. And I really I've always wanted to do morning television. And at the time we had just hired, one of the co-anchors and the other co-anchor had been there for a while. And he was like, I just don't have a spot for you because I don't know, they might resign. I don't know what's going to happen. And I was like, okay, well, I'll rot away over in lifestyle until there is a position. And then right after that, Stephanie Barugian retired and they asked me to audition. And so I was like, okay, sure. And then I auditioned. I really think that they wanted me to do it because I'm from here. I have a master's degree, and they had interviewed 2 other people, and I don't think they wanted to pay them as much. So they really had nobody.
I see what you mean.
So I was like, okay, I'll do it. And I actually really, really like it. I was a little nervous that I wasn't going to get an opportunity to sort of be myself. And I really value local journalism and local storytelling, because you can have the news on all day long and hear what the White House is doing and hear what the governor is doing. But if you don't have people that are holding your city council accountable or your school board accountable, like, they can really do things under your nose with your money that you don't know about. So I really value local journalism, and I want to take it seriously. But I also think that there's room to connect with people and be funny and silly, and, not everything has to be like death and blood and destruction. So, and I think our team at the station, they like that about me and my co-anchor and our meteorologist. So, yeah. I think we're lucky to have found the three of us, and we all sort of have the same humor, and we all, like journalism and storytelling. So. And
you guys all get along. That's
we all get along, which, not even in news, just in anywhere. If you work with other people, sometimes it's interesting. So,
you've worked everywhere, so you definitely have those experiences.
Yeah, for sure.
You might never get your dream of doing the morning news.
I know.
I think that's gonna.
But you know what? Okay, so I have always thought, and I used to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I would go to the gym, and then I would go to work, and then I would teach a night class at Fresno State, and I was just always exhausted, and I felt like I could never do what I wanted to do. Like, I love being a homeowner, and I love doing my little home projects and doing stuff. And now I have so much more time. I still am working the same amount, and I still teach at Fresno State, but this morning I fixed my little umbrella, and I picked up all the dog poop, and I took the trash out, and I just feel like I have more, my body is meant to be a night owl. I can stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning and then get up at 9 and feel fine.
Oh, wow.
I know. That's so I don't know. Maybe it was
and you'd be waking up at 3.
At 2:30 or 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that really messes with your body. Because I used to cover the mornings.
I agree.
A lot.
No, I've had different lives where I've done the early and the late, so I get it.
I really do like the late night schedule. So, yeah.
So I love you brought up that you actually teach at Fresno State. I love that you teach it too. With your experience, I would have loved to have had a professor like you back in the day. Tell us about that.
So I didn't even know, when I was getting my master's, I didn't even know really why I was doing it. My boss was just like, yeah, you should do it if they're going to pay for it. And I just wanted to have one. But right after I graduated, I had taught as a graduate assistant. I taught Introduction to Studio Production and loved it, and it was so fun. And then right after I graduated, the chair of the department at San Francisco State was like, we only have one professor who has journalism experience, because my program was not in the journalism school at San Francisco State. It was the broadcasting and electronic communication. So it's different. So they really only had one person with journalism experience. And she was like, can you please teach this news reporting for television class? And so I was like, okay, sure. I had no idea what I was doing. I walked in the first day, and all the kids thought I was in their class. But it was so fun, and it was hands-on, and I just really liked it. And so it is a great way to make extra money, because they're the days of being in journalism and broadcasting and making tons of money that is over.
That is what everybody
you're not
going to be on this show.
Yeah.
That's in your shoes.
You're not going to be able to do that. But teaching is a great way to supplement your income, and I just really like doing it. And so as the night side anchor, I don't get a lot of opportunities to shoot or edit anymore. So I really like when I get to teach media production, but I do read and write every day, and we have very young, in any market, you've got very young producers who are coming in who, they haven't spent a lot of time writing. And so this next semester I'm going to teach media writing, and I like to get in front of them. And I just I feel like I didn't learn how to write until grad school. So I feel like I can sort of get ahead of where they're going to make mistakes, and it's just fun. I like it. I like that age group. So So yeah, so I teach media writing, media production, and news production at Fresno State.
Wow, that's a lot of classes.
I only teach one class a semester.
Oh,
yeah,
thank goodness.
so I'll switch.
I was like, 'cause that's a lot of
I'd
work.
love to teach more, but
you have a kind of a full plate.
I know, but I don't know if they've hired any other instructors after me, like a couple years ago. So I think I'm like the low man on the totem pole. So I'll teach whatever anybody doesn't want to teach. So that's how I get my classes.
Well, I think that's great, and this is really going to open doors for more people to go in that field. I mean, I'm a little bit older than you, so back in the day when I was doing that, I wanted to do journalism as well, but I went to Fresno Pacific. We didn't even have that, so I did the English, everything else, and I looked into like Fresno State. There were not professors like you. That would have been sold on that. So I'm so glad that that's happening now in the transition, because that's really going to get people excited. I'm learning the things that, why does learning have to be boring? Learning can be fun, right?
Yeah, and I think my classes are pretty fun, although, they rate you. They give like student reviews after your class. Okay. It's very easy to just like remember all of the terrible reviews. Yeah, okay, my students like me and they have great, criticism of me that I can actually use, because I haven't, my mom was a teacher for Clovis Unified. She taught forever, but I've only been teaching for like 6 or 7 years. So there's definitely things I can learn. But last semester in the news production class, they're anonymous, so I don't know who this was, but they were like, Emily is the worst teacher I've ever had. She should not be teaching this class. She thinks that her way is the only way, and I do not appreciate being yelled at. I was like,
was that an older person? It sounds like an older person.
No, we didn't really have any older people in that class. It was definitely somebody young. And I don't yell. Like, if I was yelling, you would know if I was yelling. But in journalism, yes, there is only one way to refer to things or to write things, and it's in the AP style book. So, like, if you're not following the AP style book, that's not Emily Erwin who's saying that. That's AP style who's saying that. And I just, my mother was like a very no nonsense. Like, I don't know, Emily, just figure it out. And that's sort of how I am when I teach, and some kids like that and some don't. So.
Do you think you learned too when you were doing that Stanford, all those boring profs that you had to see doing that? Do you think you also learned how not to be
100%?
Like, I'm not going to be like that.
Yeah, so. 100%. Just get up there and like talk. And especially in this industry, if you're trying to learn how to do something, a hard skill like photography or videography or editing, the only way that you're going to learn how to do it is if you have a project or you have like a goal and then you try to achieve that goal. So the goal is I want to make a sequence, or I want to shoot a multi-camera interview, and then you try to do that. And so I really try to focus on hands-on assignments and hands-on learning and getting kids like out of the classroom and just go do it first, make it exist, and then we will make it perfect later.
Oh, I love that.
My philosophy.
Oh, my goodness. That is so great. And you're pretty active on social media. Tell us kind of what you're doing.
Kinda.
A little bit, yeah.
Kinda, yeah. So I'm on Insta. I don't know, like all the young reporters, I don't know how they get people to follow them, because I don't know. I post all the time, but I think what it is I don't post consistently, because it's really like, I don't know, it's sort of like draining. Like, it's another thing that I have to do. And Instagram was not a thing until after I graduated. So it just like wasn't a part of the day-to-day or like the list or like how you put a story together. So I do try to be more like digital focused instead of more broadcast focused. Do you give us
tidbits sometimes on some pretty cool news topics or things that are coming up, or not really?
I will clip stuff from the show. And I try to I love restaurant and retail reporting. So if I ever hear about a new restaurant and I put it on the show, I will clip it and put it on my channels. But Facebook is generally where I put like all my like journalism stuff.
Oh, we're gonna follow you on that.
Yeah, and then Insta is really where I just like post pictures of my dog and I don't know, funny reels.
So what's the craziest thing thus far as being a night reporter that you've come across, or a story that you're just something that kind of surprised you?
Okay, let's see. I think the craziest stories I've come across have definitely been when I was MMJing in Bakersfield. Like I did this story once on, they have a really bad squatter program, like squatter issue in Bakersfield, where like they have these empty houses, these abandoned houses, and people will just come in and start squatting. And we used to get calls about them all the time. So I went to go do like a door knock. I was just going to door knock on this house.
Oh my goodness.
And I was going to MMJ it, and I was like, absolutely not. Nope. I need a photographer to come with me. And we went to go door knock, and it was in like the worst neighborhood, and this guy comes out of the house before we even get up to the door, and he has like permanent marker written all over him, like everywhere. And I was like, what the hell is going on? And then I was like, hey, you know, we've gotten some complaints about the house. It's like noise and people in and out all the time, and he couldn't even give me a coherent response. And he was like, yeah, I'll get the owner and I'll be right back. And then he goes inside, and I can see like the backyard, and then like 25 people like run out of this house, out of the backyard, down the canals. I never saw them again. Yeah.
Did you get that on tape?
I was like shaking. Oh yeah.
Oh, heck yeah.
I was like
that
shaking.
That is so fun.
I don't know any other crazy stories. Once I went to Trona to cover, it was like right after the Ridgecrest earthquake, and I might as well have been on another planet. Like, it's east of Ridgecrest. It is in the middle of nowhere. It looks like you're on Mars. And I was out there by myself, and there was not a bathroom, I'm not kidding, for like another hour. And I had to pull over to the side of the road and pee on the side of the road. And like our news cars are marked. It says like Bakersfield now on the side of it. I was like, God, I hope nobody sees me.
Oh, good.
But there was nobody out
Goodness, it was desolate enough.
Yeah, nobody saw me.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. We're all going to follow you. And
okay.
Gosh, now you make me, well, I've always loved Channel 24,
yeah.
So, but I still, now it makes me want to watch the news even more.
Yeah, and you know, I think local journalism really needs people in the community to tell us what's important to you. Tell it, like, be available to talk to us.
Where should we put that on? Where should we go to write that?
So if you want to follow me on Instagram at Emily Erwin
so
on
we can
TV.
DM you, or do you want us to give you like comments in like the news section? Where should we put?
If you want to DM me, you can. If you want to go to my channel's website, if you go to yourcentralvalley.com, there's a place where you can give tips to the newsroom.
And they really read them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, of course. Because if you are like talking about us, the whole newsroom sees it. So if you write in and you're like, God, Emily is so annoying, the entire newsroom will see it.
Oh, that's all preface everything. Then I'll know if it's read.
Yeah, right.
She's so annoying at the end. Just kidding.
Yeah, just kidding. I just want to make sure you read it. So funny.
Thank you so much for coming on the show today. Come back in like a year and tell us update us.
Absolutely. Anytime. I'll come back.
Thank you. I love you're back, and there's another book. How many books is this?
This is the third one in the series. It's the seventh one I've written.
Oh my goodness. So explain it. I love the cover. This is so badass.
Thank you. So this is the third in the series, The Legends of the Veil. It's a fantasy, romance, adventure vibe. And this is like the continuation of the characters that we saw in the first two books, Child of Dawn and Silken Waters. This book actually flashes forward 20 years, and we're going to go through the lives of a new generation of characters.
Does anybody die?
I can't tell you that.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so what's this? Is there going to be a movie?
I wish.
Because I see you're doing all kinds of books. Are you screenwriting or what?
So the first book was turned into a screenplay on a challenge from somebody who interviewed me. I had never intended on doing screenwriting. It wasn't my thing. Didn't know how to do it. Taught myself, wrote the screenplay, entered it into a bunch of competitions, and right now it's won 12 awards.
That is so badass.
So, yeah, who knew?
Did you like the transition between writing books and then screenplays?
Screenwriting is definitely a challenge for somebody who got their feet wet writing books, because you have to retract.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
I feel like it is different.
Yeah, so all the descriptions and all like the emotions get left out, and that's my sweet spot. So it was kind of like, it was brutal having to omit things that I really liked.
It's like surgery. Just go in there and cut it out, girl.
Exactly. I had to actually hire somebody to tell me what to take out, because I couldn't do it myself.
Yeah. It is good to have another set of eyes. This is bigger than the lives. They're getting bigger and bigger. Was this because we're 20 years in the future?
Yeah, well, it's 20 years in the future. Initially, this was going to be the last book. However, my creative cohort, who kind of like came alongside of me and was like my bud in writing the second book and this book, told me that I had to make the final book 2 books, because otherwise it would have been like 700 pages. So this is actually whittled down significantly.
Oh, so there was going to be one more now.
So now there'll be one more, the 4th and final one. Yeah.
Well, since the screenplay is winning all these awards, and now it has to be a movie, right?
You would think somebody needs to hear this conversation and get a move on.
Do you know what the next step is in any of that? I know it's like, I know like writing isn't enough.
Yeah,
like you have to write the book and the screenplay.
So you write the screenplay, you submit it to festivals and competitions. It garners attention, and then the hope is that somebody will pick it up, whether it's somebody who wants to invest in the project and they're not necessarily a filmmaker, but they want to provide the finances, or a production company picks it up, or you actually get lucky enough and you find like a director who has the backing of a studio, and then you can go from there. So there's a couple of different routes.
There's a lot of things that happen in your books, though, so I imagine they might be pretty big budget.
Yeah, it would not be a small budget. It's not an independent type film. No.
Oh my goodness! But isn't that exciting though to know that you could do that with the screenwriting?
Yeah, and it's definitely somewhere that I never thought these books would go. It was kind of just really, like to begin with, I never planned on writing a fantasy, and then to write a fantasy and have people tell me, well, you should explore screenwriting, and then to write the screenplay, and then to have it, get all this attention that wasn't expected. So it's just kind of interesting,
But it's always been a movie in your head.
Yeah. So I write with with a movie feel. So everything I see when I write is like a film playing out. So yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's so exciting. And so you're having book signings available, which I love. I love when writers have book signings. So what's the next that's coming up?
So the next planned one is October 4th. One of my really good friends lives up in the foothills, and in her kind of development, there's an apple orchard that also is a gift shop and a cafe.
Ooh.
And so we thought that, like, with the fall vibes and the
setting
leaves,
of the book, I love it.
It's very perfect for the vibe that the book has. So that will be October 4th. There'll be kind of like 2 sessions, one at 10 a.m. and one at 1 p.m.
Where is this at?
This is Meadow Lakes. It's up in Auberry at the Meadow Lakes Apple Orchard. It's gonna be fun.
So
it's gonna be really fun. They're gonna do charcuterie and have like custom drinks. And my friend's mom is a wonderful artist, so she's gonna do an art project that's fantasy based for people to participate in, and it's gonna be fun.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Do we have to like RSVP to those?
No,
you
just
go.
Up. Yeah, we'll be up there all day. So
and you've gotten pretty good success at your other book signings I've seen.
Yeah, it's really, and I've discovered that the local the people that are local have been very, very responsive and very, very kind, which is very much appreciated. Like when I've gone further distances, the response isn't necessarily as great as it is in the Fresno Clovis area, and I think that's something to be said. You know, community is everything. So that's been wonderful to have that happen.
Where have you been traveling?
I've done, so for this book, there have been things in LA, Fresno and Clovis, obviously, Visalia, and then also up north, there've been a couple. So it's just kind of like it's sporadic and it's all over the place. But
well, so what about some of these fantasy events? Do you go to like these fantasy cons or?
So I am currently booked. There's one in San Francisco that's happening in October. That one I'm going to be at, and then there is actually, as far as I'm aware, the first one in the Valley. January, I want to say it's 31st. It's the last Saturday in January, and that's going to be held in Visalia. So that's a pretty big deal. We've never seen something like that locally, and so that'll be huge for the community to have it at the Visalia Convention Center.
How are you getting the word out there? Like, how are people buying these books and everything?
So I have my website, which is just my name, but then they're also available on Amazon. They're available through Barnes & Noble and Walmart.com. And then I just kind of utilize social media. I'm on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. Just
well, like
whatever
in the fantasy world, it seems like you're kind of known in there. So how do you get like to where people know
honestly,
you?
It's networking. It's connecting with people. It's kind of like not having any shame and just kind of like putting yourself out there. And you know, you may get a response, you may not get a response. I mean, one of the best was I was supposed to be at a festival in LA this last weekend, and things happened and I couldn't go, but I ended up connecting because I was watching it all kind of on social media. I ended up connecting with another author that was there, and so now we're like following each other on social media. And he lives in England and I'm in California, but we've just connected through the wonders of Instagram.
So is he pushing it out there at the event you were supposed to be at?
Well, not yet, but we'll get there. He's a super sweet guy, so yeah.
I know you're gonna ever travel like New York or on the East Coast.
That is the bucket list. Like that is the ultimate dream to get to New York, to get to possibly like England. Yeah.
And all of this is yourself because you don't have an agent.
I now have, since we last talked, I do have a publicist now.
Was that because of the screenplay? At what point were you like, it's time?
It was this.
I always thought you should have, but I was like wondering what.
Thank you.
You've been doing some cute photo shoots too. I've been keeping up. I'm
thank you. So kind of the end of last year, I think, it was a lot to do, like the self-publishing, the social media kind of like networking, trying to find things to participate in, find people to engage with, because you're doing the publishing thing with the book, but then you're also trying to do the festival thing with the screenplay, and it just got to be a lot.
And this is all new stuff because I've been in this industry for a long time, and this was not like how it was back in the day.
Yeah.
We were doing your own everything and really doing all that.
Yeah,
so.
And you really have to be like self-motivated and kind of just, I mean, obviously there's critics and there's people who are going to be like, really, like, what are you doing? But then you just kind of have to like go with it and believe in yourself and keep going. And sometimes you feel like you come off like a total crazy person, because you're advocating for yourself and you have to believe in yourself enough to talk yourself up. But you never know what's going to happen.
So this still is a self-published. Mm-hmm. How did you find your publicist?
I found her on Facebook. I'm a part of a lot of Facebook groups, writing groups, and she's kind of like me, where she just put herself out there and was like, hey, I'm accepting new clients, if you're interested. And I was like, you know what, I'm at my wit's end. Like, I'm overwhelmed. I know I can do it myself, but I don't want to do it by myself. I need guidance and like advice, and she took me on.
And she's helped a lot, huh?
Uh-huh.
Well,
yeah.
I've noticed that Boots, like I said, you're doing the pictures, you're doing all this stuff. It just seemed like you exploded overnight. And you're always writing books, but it seems like it's like everywhere now, and I love it. So,
well, thank you.
So she helped out.
Yeah. And I like her a lot. She lives in Wisconsin of all places, but she's from New York, and so she's got that New York kind of like mentality and vibe where you just go nonstop, and you just just
she gets
don't
it
say no,
done.
you get it done. Yeah, and I appreciate that.
Oh my God! So now you have to go to the East Coast.
I know.
That's where it's all.
I know.
at.
She's just like, say when, and I will have like a whole like tour for you in New York. And I mean, everybody that knows me thinks I belong there. So
right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Exactly.
I'm so excited.
Have to get there.
And then now you have an England guy, so we might have to go to England too.
Right. I know. Well, to like go where like C.S. Lewis and Tolkien are from, I mean, come on.
Right.
Like, to walk in their footsteps, like there'd be no bigger dream ever.
Oh my God, I see big things. Okay, so where can we follow you?
You can follow me Instagram. I'm at Lepie21, Lepie 21. TikTok, it's Greyhaven Bound. That's like a Lord of the Rings reference for any Tolkien fans. I'm on Facebook, just under my name, and then my website is www.leslieann.com.
Where do you put most about where you're going to be at?
My website is usually, I kind of try to do like a monthly like mail out or newsletter for people who subscribe to the website.
Oh, I want to be honest.
Yeah,
okay,
you should.
I'm sorry.
How dare you?
I didn't know. I'm going to go be in it. I'm going to become one of your obsessive fans where you're going to start blocking
That's okay.
me on
You
stuff.
you can stalk me. It's totally fine. No, yeah. Usually I try to like send out updates through there and then post interviews. Like all my interviews with you are on there.
Okay, so I go to the website. Just go to the website where I can buy the books, and then I go. There's a new place where it says subscribe.
Yeah, you can. So like if you go to the website, you can subscribe, and then you get all the updates and all the info. And then, but then like if you follow me on like Instagram or TikTok or Facebook, like all the stuff is on there too. It's just, I think for a lot of people, it's easier to subscribe and get kind of like the info in like their email than to like look me up sometimes. So that's why we have like the newsletter that goes out monthly.
Oh my God! So what's the feedback you've gotten from the new one, from the last one?
There's stuff in it that's not expected. There are a couple of twists.
Are they good, or is your fans upset?
Some are good. Some have like upset the fans, but just because it's like situational, like not everybody can have a happy ending. When you create a universe, like you can't always have a happy ending.
Goodness.
So,
well, it's fake. It doesn't have to be realistic,
right? Yeah.
Yes, we can have a happy ending if you want to, Leslie.
Right. Yeah, so there's that. A lot of people do like kind of like the expansion. The first two books were, focused on the same group of characters, and this kind of takes you out of the veil. You explore a whole new kind of like area. New creatures come into play. So there's a lot that happens in this book, and then a lot more that will happen in the fourth one.
So what's the age group it's intended for?
I mean, my daughter's here with me in the studio. She's 13. She's read my stuff, but then I have people that are in their 60s, 70s, 80s reading it. So
does your daughter read it before it's published?
She's read some of the stuff. Yeah. Yeah, she's kind of like my sounding board. She likes it.
Well, that's what I was wondering if you got like.
Yeah. Which I mean, that means the world to me. That my kids can pick up my stuff and read it
and enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean that's huge, and that's kind of like my intent. I don't want to write anything that's going to like turn somebody off or like push somebody away. Whether it's the genre or just the content or whatever, it's I've been told it's medium spicy. Based on like the romance level that in all the stories kind of across the board. There's kind of a new romance in every single book, and then like previous romances will continue. So this one is definitely
good.
Medium
Previous romances
spicy.
continue. You don't kill everybody off. Not
yet.
So there are some happy endings.
No, yeah, some happy endings. Yeah. So this is actually the romance that kind of starts in this one, but will definitely continue in the fourth book. Is my favorite so far. So. Yeah.
I love that. Oh my gosh. Everyone has to go get this, especially now the holidays are kind of around the corner.
Yeah, get it now.
So this is like, I'm sure you do some cool stuff if they get it for Christmas. Do you do any Christmas wrap or?
Oh, heck yeah.
So
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. And the goal is to have the fourth one out as well for Christmas. Like, don't quote me on that.
You surprise me every day.
But that's kind of because initially this one was going to come out for Halloween this year, but I got it done, so I couldn't wait until October. So now the goal is to get the fourth one out by Christmas.
Well, and I love that too because, like you said, you have your thing on October, so we can kind of come and get it. Get
all
the stuff.
All 3 books will be for sale. If you buy like a set, there'll be a discount. I'll sign
all of them. Just because that's like it's a perfect time to do that.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll sign anything you buy, and there's going to be a book reading and some giveaways too.
Well, how are you going to sign the 4th book by Christmas then?
Well, that one, you're going to have to come knock on my door.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, we cannot keep up with you. But thank you so much for coming on. Thanks for doing what you do, and thanks for making it here tonight.
Me.
I know you got back to school night, so
I know. Gotta be a mom too.
You do it all.
I do. Try.
Everybody's got to follow you too. It's
Leppy21
on Instagram. And then you can see all the beautiful photos you've been taking.
Thank you so much. You're so good for my ego.
Welcome back, Bill.
Great to be here.
The most viewed guest, or the guest that's been here the most times? 11?
11 times.
11 times today. Oh my goodness.
11 times, yeah. We're just becoming a regular.
So what's happening now? What's new with Castle Air Museum?
What isn't new at Castle Air Museum? We got all kinds of things going on. We got the Harrier that flew in last month.
And it has been a while since planes actually flown in there, huh?
Yeah, it has. Normally, we get them trucked in, but this one flew in, and the Marines donated it. And it was a flyable airplane. I think it flew in on a Wednesday, and it was on the display pad on a Friday.
Wow.
If I remember correctly. I could have my days wrong, but yeah, it was within a couple of days. So we got her on there. And then other than that, the B-52 is being repainted. Greg is working on that, and he's got the entire fuselage, all done, all 180 some odd feet of it. And so that's done. And he should have the whole airplane finished he's hoping for Christmas. But we'll see what happens.
So it's not going to be out for open cockpit?
It will be open for open cockpit. The B-52 will. It'll just be, sanded. You'll see it, when you come. You'll see progress on it. Yeah.
I love it. So, open cockpit, August 30. What's the deal? What's the plan this year? What are we going to have?
Well, we're going to open up the gates a little bit early at 8:30 because the heat is most likely going to hit. I did kind of a long-range forecast, and we're going to be probably in the mid-90s. So that's not nearly as bad as it could be, in the low 100s. But we'll see. So it's going to be basically what we had before. Helicopter rides should be coming back.
Balloon rides or no balloon rides?
I haven't heard anything about the balloon rides. I'm not in that side of it. I'm on the airplane side. But the Harrier will be open for open cockpit.
Oh, that'll be fun.
The Black Bunny Phantom is back at the restoration hangar.
But that's what I said. Is that going to come out or?
No, we're going to keep it at the restoration hangar for right now because we're going to do a photo shoot with VX9
next to it.
Right. It's going to be right next to it, which is not the the F-4 Phantom with the Black Bunny, and then they went to a Tomcat, F-14 Tomcat with the Playboy Bunny on the tail. And then when they retired that, they went to an F-18. And that's what they're flying now. So the commander of VX9 wants to fly it into Airfest, which is our last car show of the year, which is going to be held out on the airport grounds. And they want to put the two jets together.
Some people can come and take pictures of them.
Yeah, exactly.
When's that going to be? When's that event?
That's going to be October 18th. It's going to be at the Castle Airport. It won't be on the
museum side.
It won't be on the museum grounds. On this.
That's what you've been doing lately, right? You guys have been doing the car shows. At the airport.
The fall car show, we've been putting it on the airport grounds, and it's a conjunction with the museum and the Castle Airport Authority. And so we kind of go in together and we do the car show there, and then they fly in a lot of different things and we put some displays out from the museum. So it gives the general public a a lot of different things to look at, and normally they'll have a live band. Vendors will be out there selling, snake oil or whatever else that they do.
And the restoration, is that going to be open for open cockpit?
Yes.
Where everyone can come in. So it's those restorations.
Correct.
Behind closed doors, but it's still open to the public. You just have to kind of go in the little taxi.
Yes.
Taxi over there.
The bus will take you from the museum over to
But it's very quick.
restoration.
It's not like, it's like a 3 minute.
It's a 4 minute ride.
4 minute ride.
Yeah, and the bunny will be in there, so you can see it there, and but yeah, and then after the Airfest is all over, then we'll tow the bunny Phantom back on the grounds.
Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah, and then in September we got the golf tournament, which is on the 12th at Rancho Del Rey, up in Atwater.
Wow, are you gonna play?
No plane. And but me and Carl will probably be there because we'll get roped into doing something, but that's okay. So we got basically 3 events kind of back to back.
So what happens at the golf tournament?
Well, you get teams, foursome teams, and they all play against each other. And
how is that really connected to Castle?
Well, all the money that the golf tournament raises, we get. And then we pay the course, X amount of dollars. So, and that money goes directly into the general fund, and a lot of it goes into restoring and repainting airplanes.
Oh, that's really cool. And then how's the pavilion going?
The pavilion is on its way. I got a hold, or Jeff Stopper, you did a YouTube segment with Jeff on the pavilion, and we're moving. All the plans are at the city, and it looks like everything's going to be approved, and we got the final elevations on kind of what it's going to look like.
They said something about breaking ground this year.
We are.
Really?
If everything goes according to plan, I believe we're hoping to break ground after all the events are over with.
How
fun. November, December timeframe, which is a pretty good deal for us because the attendance is down during that time of year.
Because of weather.
Yeah, right. And we're going to try our best not to close, but it's hard when you're trying to put up a building that's basically 200 wide by 400 feet long.
You just have it sectioned off at different times, right? The closed sections.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a huge construction zone. And then on top of that, we have the rodeo cover, which is 195 feet by 140. That's where all the World War II bombers are going to go. And the SR-71 will be relocated. The VC-9 will be relocated. We're going to have to chop down trees. We're going to have to, there's, the logistics is just amazing and very complex. It's like a game of checkers. You have to jump over this to put this over here. And first of all, you have to work with open ground. And we only have basically about 3 different places on the museum where we have open ground.
I was wondering, is there any other, when you guys made this and the vision for all this, is there another museum that you guys kind of replicated that off of, or said, I like the way that they're doing something, let's kind of make it like that? Was there anything that you guys took an idea from here to make it, or not really?
I think every museum looks at other museums for inspiration.
So was there something, I don't know what you guys were even looking at, that's what I was asking.
Palm Springs, if you ever been down to their air museum, they've done a lot of nice things with buildings and how they move their airplanes around. Then of course you're going to go down to the Boneyard, and you'll see, the big one down there, Pima County Air Museum. Their buildings, they're really not anything fancy. They're reminding you more like an ag building, but they're rectangular, and they can hold a lot of artifacts, which is good. You don't really need anything. You don't need the Taj Mahal.
Right.
If you want to go see the Taj Mahal, go to the Air Force Museum, or Pensacola, which is the Naval Museum. They got hundreds of millions of dollars invested in those buildings and whatnot. So, unfortunately, we just don't have that kind of a budget.
But it seems like what's being done is really cool, though.
It's the biggest outreach, or it's the biggest project that we have ever taken on. Yeah. The other two would have been the B-36, bringing the B-36 to Castle from Chanute Air Force Base. That came in on, like 13 different rail cars, that and the B-47, getting the B-47 airworthy to fly it in. And you did a YouTube segment on the B-47 here not too long ago. But this is pretty monumental for Castle Air Museum to actually put up a building of this size.
Well, I think it's monumental for Atwater. This is pretty monumental.
It will increase the traffic. You'll be able to come and view airplanes inside in a comfortable environment, whether it be winter or summer. It's twofold. One is it allows the airplanes to survive longer.
Right.
And the other thing is that it's easier on our customers. Because when it's 110 outside, you just don't want to be out there.
Yeah.
And you've been out there during those open cockpits. So it's not fun. But that's just the way it is here in the valley. So you put up buildings and you cool them and you heat them, and that allows people to come and at least enjoy themselves that wouldn't ordinarily come because everything was generally outside.
Right.
We are going to have some building or some airplanes we just can't put inside.
Yeah.
The B-36, the B-52, KC-135, those they're
these tankers, these big.
Yeah, the big airplanes, and not that they couldn't be put inside, but it's just the funding to do it is just astronomical, So the building that we're putting up is going to be right at $8 million. And
I feel like this year a lot of things happened. It was like boom, boom, and we got this plane, that plane. I feel like this is a very active year for Castle Air Museum since I've been around.
Yeah, we've been very, very blessed.
A lot of planes just came all of a sudden, like boom, boom. It either got rolled out or came for the first time. It's like, where'd this come from? Where'd that come from?
Yeah, well, it's kind of strange because you see we have a lot of things in the pipeline, but we don't talk about it, what we have coming or what we're raising money for. We're kind of bad about that. I don't really know why, but we don't. But like the Blue Angel, that airplane just kind of dropped into our lap and we had to get funding.
Oh, that's right. That was like a last minute.
Right. And fortunately, we had a very, very nice donor who gave us the money in order to get the airplane here. The TBM that you did, I believe you did a YouTube on that crashed in Florida.
That was really awesome, by the way. It was so cool to see that. I disagree with you guys. I think you should leave the sand in there and leave it all broken, because that's really fun to look at.
Yeah, it is. And when we get to that, we'll have to figure out which way that we want to go with it.
Oh, he said you're probably going to, well, they had told me you're probably going to polish it up and make it all pretty. And I'm like, leave it this way.
Probably. And that call will probably go back and forth.
But it is really cool to see something like that and to see what it went through. And the fact that it's still at Florida stand, and I love Florida. I love the ocean out there way better than the Pacific Ocean. So to see the actual stand from Florida, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so impressive. It was really cool. It's really cool. So people can come and see that at this open cockpit, kind of, right? Or we can't go into that restoration. That's in the other restoration building.
I do not know if they're going to have that building open. I have not talked to Greg on that. They might, because that's where the hidden collection is. So you'll probably be able to see it depending upon where they got it stuffed.
If everybody watches the YouTube channel on there and puts that in the comments, then they might do it. That's the way to do it, right? Everyone's got to go to the YouTube channel.
You know, we do a lot of things based on comments.
So,
you know, people go ahead, people call in, and they said, hey, I'd like to see this. Is it, you know, possible that, you know, we can, and then, yeah, we do our best.
And you guys do a lot to accommodate people. I'm kind of surprised about, impressed with all the things you guys do.
You know, you have to, because we ask for money all the time. You know, we ask for money more than churches do. You know?
I don't know about that one, but
but you know, so you have to give back occasionally. You know what I'm saying? And it can't just be take. You know, you have to give. And so when it comes to birthday parties, you know, we had recently a birthday party where they requested to have the SR-71 opened, to where, you know, the people can look inside, you know, not sit in it, but of course look inside. And we accommodated that, you know.
Well, I know there's been different days you've had different busloads come. Mm-hmm. Like different tours that were like they were in town, so you made it for them to have a tour.
Yeah, they'll go ahead and they'll call us. We do a lot of that for car clubs. The Corvette Club, they come up, they'll call us and they'll ask.
I know you had people from out of country one time.
Oh yeah, we had a big busload full of people from Norway and I think Sweden, and you know, and the good thing about that is we kind of know that they're coming, and then we can arrange the tour guides accordingly, and then split the group up depending upon how many people that there actually are.
And that people don't know about all the other stuff you do, where there's the men that flew these planes that no longer walk, they're much older, and then they get wheeled in and they come, and then you guys accommodate to make sure that they get to see their plane and be next to their plane.
Yeah.
However you get them from a parking lot to the mile away with their plane is, you guys do a lot to that, and people don't realize all that you guys do with that.
Well, you know, we're on 38 acres, and it's just. We have some nice pathways now because we've redone quite a few of those, but. Yeah, it is a jaunt out there, you know, from the main museum, you know, just say out to the F-16. It's 3/4 of a mile. You know, the time you get out there, you know, you're worn out, and if you walk it. And so yeah, we do everything we can. We have electric scooters, you know, if somebody needs one, and wheelchairs and things of that nature. So yeah, we try our best to go ahead and to accommodate, you know, somebody, as long as we know about it, you know, ahead of time. Then yeah, we're really in good shape.
Now it's like, there's so many people's, it's not their dying wish, but there's some people's like last wishes where the whole family gets together and like, we're going to bring, you know, our great grandpa to go see their plane, and then you guys make that happen. So just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, we have people that say, hey, you know, my grandpa flew this airplane during the Second World War, and he'd like to see it. You know, can we come out? But you know, we'd like to maybe do an evening visit, you know, or something of that nature. And we've accommodated those kinds of things, because you don't want to, you know, bring a 108-year-old grandpa out when it's 108. You know, so you want to do it early in the morning or late in the evening. And yeah, we're more than happy to accommodate those kinds of things.
What else is going to happen for this open cockpit? Is there giveaways or? Do music, or there's not music?
Yeah, I believe we got a band.
And then we also have all the vendors.
Yeah, all the vendors.
You'll be hungry.
Yeah, exactly. We got plenty of vendors. I believe we got some frozen yogurt trucks going to be out there. Hamburgers, hot dogs. You know, the normal thing. And then next year we're really got a lot of different ideas on how to spice up Open Cockpit Day. You know. And because we're starting to see the numbers drop a little bit.
I think it's just the heat, but now we have so many more plans. Now there's like so much, it's funny how there's so much more cool stuff to see every time. So it's not like the same thing over and over, because it's got so many more.
Exactly. So, you know, you've got like last Open Cockpit, we had the Black Bunny Phantom. Okay. And this Open Cockpit, we've got the Harrier. So, you know, we've had two basic arrivals on the museum,
the big ones
on the museum grounds, you know, within, you know, 4 months. So, which normally doesn't happen, you know, and we still have the Huey to roll out, and we've got the F-117, which is still, in progress. So that's got to, come out. And then over the winter, we painted the F-84, the Thunderstreak, and it's got a brand new paint job. And the guys really did a beautiful job on that. They base coat, clear coated it and everything. It's really, really nice. So even though the airplane may not be new to us, it may have a new paint job. And so it's kind of, you see progression, through the museum. Things are freshly painted now, and we still got a lot to go. We got 85 airplanes out on the grounds now, and so that's like trying to eat, a dead whale. You got to start someplace and work your way through it, so, but it's like the Golden Gate Bridge, you start on one end, and by the time you get to the other end, you got to go back and start over.
And the Miss Sparkle will be clean and sparkly that day?
Yeah, it'll be, me and Carl will be up there the night before.
What about Walter?
Walter will be there. Yeah.
Walter wasn't there last time.
I know. Well,
so Walter's a man inside the plane. So.
Yeah. Walter's our dummy pilot, and he'll be there, and maybe in Darth Vader this time. I don't know.
Ooh, that'll be something to look forward to.
Yeah, so we'll see. No, we'll go up the night before and give the F-16 a bath, and make sure it's all nice and pretty for everybody, on Saturday. And we'll go from there. Next week's a huge week because a lot of volunteer hours. Everybody's in there trying to get the airplanes washed and get the tent set up for the vendors.
It takes a village.
Oh yeah, exactly. But it's basically our last really huge fundraiser for the year.
Right.
That money goes into the museum, and we use it, some of it for the general fund, and a lot of it goes into maintaining, the airplanes. So
everyone needs to come out on August 30th. I'll be there.
And we got to talk about the YouTube channel.
On the YouTube channel, everyone has to subscribe.
The YouTube channel, the YouTube channel is going really, really well. We're up to 56 videos now.
Wow.
Yeah, and all the reviews have been really, really good.
Oh, good.
We're up to over 1,000 subscribers.
So if you're watching, subscribe to the Castle Air Museum YouTube video.
Yeah, and then if you want to know anything about all the events that we do have planned, you just go to the website and click on events, and it drops down, and it'll tell you everything that you need to know. But
thank you so much for coming.
Well, the one shout out that I do have to give is, to all of the wives and the girlfriends, of all the guys.
Stormy.
Yeah.
Shout out to Stormy.
Yeah. Trust me, my wife has put up with so much stuff with me going out to the museum, and but she knows that we do it, for the love of the airplane and to preserve the airplane and to make sure that future generations can enjoy it.
And we do appreciate that.
Yes, and it wasn't for Stormy and the other wives and girlfriends and husbands of the few female volunteers that we have, which we do. It's a lot easier when you go out there, and because like for us, it's basically an 8-hour day. By the time we leave the house, we get home, it's minimum of 8 hours.
Yeah.
And so we know it's a lot easier when we have support of the wives, you know, and our significant others. And so I can't, so big shout out to them.
Shout out to them. Okay, everybody, we'll see you on August 30th at Castle Air Museum.
We'll be there.
Felt right in the moment, felt right in the summertime. It felt right drinking cherry wine with you. Just wanted to own it, just wanted to take the time, learn all the things that I could about you. Now it's such a mess here, oh we are just stressed here, used to be so easy with you. Now I must confess here, oh I must confess dear, don't think I'm in love with you. Winter is coming and I don't know what to do, and there's no more use in running, no more running to you, and I don't want your loving. I don't wanna be just friends, knowing all this time we were playing pretend.
It's a